Initial D references in Tokyo Xtreme Racer. The first two of the mountain racing games were already a delight for Initial D fans. Now, the feature presentation. The mountain racing game that has probably the most Initial D references. Kaido Battle Toge no Densetsu, literally meaning Kaido Battle, Legend of the Mountain Passes. A very fitting name for a game to take influence from Initial D. In America, it is known as Tokyo Xtreme Racer Drift 2, and in Europe and Australia, Kaido Racer 2. This game has some new courses that also appeared in Initial D. These are Myogi, Uzui, Happogahara and Nanamagari. These are all short courses, however, so they are just a partial representation of the real-life counterparts. There are many characters who return, and many new faces as well. One of the returning guys is Tofu Maniac Toshiro Kaneko, in a Toyota 1186. He drives on the Hakone downhill. He changed his hairstyle, he knows the rules of darts, he sings karaoke, and he goes to parties. These are his developments. Another racer battling on the Hakone downhill is Lightning Shift Takuya, simply called Lightning Shift this time. Takuya Hagiwara drives a special 86 Renault that has Inozumo Komuten, which means Lightning Construction Company in English, written on his doors. Takuya's description: his day job is delivering milk to a hotel at the top of the mountain pass. Recently, he got the eye of the leader of a certain well-known works team, and is trying to go pro. But he can't help but feel like he's leaving something behind on the highways. He's out on the roads whenever he can find the time, searching for an answer. His story arc is somewhat similar to Takumi. Now he is being recruited to a higher level team, but he is uncertain about it. A couple racers from a new course, Hiroshima, use a technique familiar to Initial D fans. Whirlpool, Naoto Yamada, who drives a Toyota Starlet Lanza 5, is the first one. He's an electronics freak. He pays twice as much attention as anyone to his electronics, pouring money in earthings and other gadgets that don't seem to have much effect. He uses his interior electronics as little as possible during battles, even turning off his headlights and fog lamps, which makes the other racers feel uneasy. The second Hiroshima racer using this technique is Black Onyx, Sukemaza Okajima, who drives a Honda Integra Type R. He makes his living as a jeweler, and his handle comes from the gemstone of the same name. At any rate, he loves deep, penetrating blackness, and will gladly come out and race on moonless nights. Consequently, the headlights on his machine are rather dim, and sometimes he even turns them off and races blind. After losing, he posts on the Hiroshima message board, "My secret technique didn't work. Even my patented blind attack didn't work. Does he have eyes in the back of his head or what? Everybody better watch out for that racer. Blind attacks don't work on him." If you didn't already notice the connection, driving without headlights is the blind attack technique from Initial D, which is also called with the same name here. Mr. Akina, or Autumn Lord, as his name is translated this time, is still racing his 86 Renault on downhill Haruna. The translation difference is probably because the first symbol of Akina means autumn. His real name is Takumi Kirazu. He is famous for calling Haruna by a weird name he made up. As always, he never races without his trance music and a cup of water in his cup holder. However, he's so clumsy that he always spills it. He thinks he's hot stuff, but he's really just a poser. This time, he has also adopted the Fujiwara technique of having a water cup in his cup holder, unsuccessfully however. On Haruna Downhill, there is a team consisting of 3 members, called Haruna Starlights. The first member is Fake, Kazuya Takenouchi, who drives a Toyota Levin AE85. He got his driver's license and bought his current car the moment he turned 18. Although he meant to buy an 86, he actually ended up with an 85, making him the butt of many jokes among the Haruna Starlights. At first, it almost made him cry, but after making his 85 into a turbo, he's recently come into his own as a racer. The second member of Haruna Starlights is Rev SR, Ken Yushima, who drives a Nissan 180 SX RPS 13. Although officially a member of the Haruna Starlights, he's never been seen in a real highway battle. His technique is pretty low in level, much the same as team leader Kami Ikedai, but the two are the best of friends. Some people might not call this much of a team, but Yushima really loves the Haruna Starlights. The leader of the Haruna Starlights is Total FR, Kouji Kami Ikedai, who drives a Nissan Silvia KS S13. He's the leader of the Haruna Starlights, but his technique isn't all that great. He's really more of a racing enthusiast than an actual racer. Perhaps because of this, he often gets targeted by other teams, and he has so little in the way of technique that he always gets sent home crying. After losing, he posts on the Haruna message board inviting you to join the team. How about it? If the racer from yesterday is reading this, we hope you'll consider joining us in the Haruna Starlights and passing on your techniques to everybody. Haruna Starlights is obviously based on Akina Speedstars, and the members are based on Itsuki, Kenji and Niketani respectively. Fake buying an 8.6 by mistake and later turbo tuning it is just like Itsuki. Rev SR is an 180SX driver who has never raced, just like Kenji. Tola FR is the leader, but he is more of a racing enthusiast than a racer, just like Iketani. On Akagi Downhill, there is still a team called Akagi Blue Sign, or Akagi Bleep Blue, as it's sometimes called here. On the free message board, there is a post about them. I hear they're trying to get all the racers in Gunma together in some huge plan. Whether they'll actually pull it off or not is anybody's guess. Although not an official member, there is pretty boy Masayuki Ishii, who drives a Nissan Silvia KS S14. Sidekick to the leader of Akagi Blue Sign. He still hasn't been allowed to join the team, but what he doesn't seem to realize is that everybody on the team knows that his motives for being the boss's sidekick aren't exactly pure. Still short of cash, as always. The first member of Akagi Big Blue, or whatever you call them, is HC Top, Ryuji Hashimoto, who drives a Mazda RX-7 FD. He's a rich kid whose father runs a local hospital. His older brother Yuichi was raised with all the family's expectations on his shoulders, but as the youngest brother, Ryuji was raised in the exact opposite way. His parents literally let him do whatever he wanted. He's best at power-driven downhill battles. The leader of the team is Mazda RX-7 FC driver Dr. Slick, Ryuichi Hashimoto. Ryuichi has grown up with the pressure of knowing that someday he'll have to take over the family business. Logic drives everything he does, and drifting is no exception. Currently, he's working on a very difficult problem, finding the unified theory of speed for highway racing. Before racing him, he sends you an email. Akagi Blue Signs Hashimoto. I heard a rumor from the Haruna Starlights and I need to see the source of it with my own eyes. I'll be waiting at the Akagi PA. PA stands for parking area. If you beat my team, you'll get an invitation to Mount Myogi. You need 6 prizes and this invite to go to Mount Myogi. After losing, he posts on the Akagi message board, "Can't let this one get away. To the racer I met yesterday, you're the closest I've ever seen anyone come to the ideal racer. If you're ever around again, I'd like a chance to see your technique one more time." This team is still based on Akagi Red Suns, but this time they're a more successful team. The leader is logic based and trying to create the theory of racing. The two brothers different in personalities, and the rumor that they are gathering the best racers in Gunma for some big plan. On Downhill Usui, there is a duo team of girls called Love Boat. The first member is Skirt Checker, Sara Kiono, driving a Nissan Skyline GTS 25T R33. She and Masayo Saito are working hard to improve their technique and become the fastest team in Usui Toge. Her personality is the opposite of Masayo's, in a word, loud. She's very fussy about the length of her miniskirts. Her racing technique is just a little bit under that of Masayo. She prides herself on being able to keep up with the men. Full-on C122, Masayo Saito, drives a Sill Lady. She's got gorgeous looks, but her wallflower personality has prevented her from ever having a boyfriend. She's been fixated on a certain guy for a while, but thinks he'd never go for a girl like her. Her racing technique is superb, and she can tear through the narrow roads of Usui Toge at full drift. The duo team is a reference to Impact Blue. Sayuki and Makosato. However, here both drivers have a car. The different personalities of the girls and the quieter girl being fixated from a certain guy. The nickname full of C121 is a reference to the difficult corner C121 in Usui Pass that also played a role in Initial D. This time there is no famous Irohazaka, but there is a similar course nearby, just called Nikko. There we can find inline fever, Hiroyuki Kashiwazaka, who drives a Toyota MR2. His father used to be a highway racer as well, and from a young age, Kashiwazaka was driving go-karts. When he got his driver's license, he made his racing debut with a flourish. His amazing performance in daytime category races, people wonder, is this guy for real? But he's still got a long way to go in night battles. He is based on Kai Kokashiwa, driving an MR2, being a kart racer since a young age, and having been taught by his father. Also in Nikko, there's a Lancer Evolution team called The President, or The Presidents. There is a thread on the Nikko message board by Prince. Lancer Evo Squad. You know that all Lancer Evo Squad that shows up in Nikko? I heard a rumor that they're here to crush other teams. Sounds like they're just as evil as those punks from Tokyo. Exhaust responds, are you serious? When are they going to be? Do they have a rotation or what? Bernadette responds, from what I've heard, they only come at the start of the month. One of the members of the President is King Works, Seiichi Kaneshiro, who drives the Lancer Evolution 4. The number 2 man in the President, his technique is quite advanced. Unfortunately, though, his mental game is weak, and he often chokes in high pressure battles. He pushes his car to the extremes, and it's not uncommon for him to lose a battle at the last moment because of a blown tire. The team leader is 4WD Chief, Keita Suga, who drives the Lancer Evolution 3. The leader of the President, an old Lancer team, used to believe his technique in Gymkhana racers was impeccable, but recently he's got beaten by a compact FR. Ever since then, Suga has been training like a madman. The team is based on Emperor, and the drivers are based on Seiji Iwaki and Kyoichi Sudo. The LAN Evo 4 driver having good technique but not being mentally strong, the LAN Evo 3 driver having practiced in Gymkhana and being beaten by a compact FR. Also, the teams plan to become dominant in the region. In Happogahara, we can find a team called Ultimate School, or Extreme Seminar. The translation isn't very consistent. Every racer of the team is named King and whatever they are supposed to be strong at, steering, shifting or footwork. The first member is King Steer, Mutsumi Sakai, in a Honda Integra Type R. Currently a student in the Ultimate School, the premier training school for racers. His technique isn't as good as Sanomiya's, but he's still one of the best among current students. The head of the school, sensing his potential, convinced him to remain on the team and had Furutachi take him under his wing. The second member of the team is King Shift, Teruo Sanomiya, who drives an EK9 Honda Civic Type R. Currently a student at the Ultimate School, the premier training school for racers. Furutachi considers Sanomiya his number 1 pupil, and he learned everything he knows about racing from his teacher. All of his techniques are based on the feedback from techniques used daily by pro drivers, another mark of Furutachi's teachings. The third member of the team is King Foot, Kojiro Furutachi, who drives a Honda NSX Type R, a graduate of the Ultimate School, the premier training school for racers. He's by far the best of the school's graduates. He's had a brilliant career in the category racing world, and it's not exactly clear why he's returned to the night battle world. Some people say he's looking for a whereabouts of a certain racer. This team is based on Todo School and its students, Smiley Sakai, Daiki Ninomiya, and Tomoyuki Tachi. A racer with a flashy car and a license plate that literally says car can be found in a distant land of Hokkaido. This racer is God Shift Punta Fujinoki, who drives a special Subaru Impreza. Hokkaido is a gravel course by the way, so it's best for rally cars. Punta is a legend. On the P3 message board there is a post by Miracle. It's Punta, so old Punta from God Shift is still racing? Kind of inspires you, doesn't it? Whether he wins or loses, his driving is always a katabo. For some reason it refers to his nickname like it was a team. Anyway, his description reads, it was Punta Fujinoki himself who first said there was magic here in Hokkaido. With so many other mysterious characters in Hokkaido, it's only natural that Fujinoki would find his way here. His past is still a mystery, but apparently he was once a big-time star on another course. After losing, he posts, "Once a year you get natural talents like this. I know. I met another racer once that was as good as this guy. Even Hamagaki would have a tough time against him. Ha ha ha, sucks to be him." In this game, every long course has a boss character, known as a slasher. Before facing them, you get a cutscene, showing the car driving somewhere in the area of the course. For example, in Hiroshima, the slasher drives by the Peace Memorial. In Haruna, he drives next to the Ikahons and Stone Steps, which were also featured in Initial D. Now, let's watch the cutscene for Akagi Slasher. Let's look at it slower now, to catch every reference. At first, he drives down the road past the gas station, where many characters in Initial D work and gather. In the garage, we can see a Toyota Levin, possibly Itsuki's 86. Then he drives past Fujiwara Tofu Shop. It's still called Fujiwara Tofu Shop, but it is spelled differently from the one in Initial D. Next to the tofu shop, we can see a Treno, however it doesn't have any decals. Next, he drives in front of Shibukawa Station. It's a central location of the city and was also featured in Initial D a few times. Finally, he drives by Sky Arc Restaurant, a parody of the Skylark family restaurant chain. In the parking area of the restaurant, we can see a yellow FT, a white FC, and a green S13. These are the cars of Keisuke Takahashi, Ryosuke Takahashi, and Koichiro Iketani drive in Initial D. On the message board, there is a thread about cup racing by Throwing Man. Someone suggested that I keep a cup of water in the cup holder when I race on the highway. Has anybody ever tried this? The responses are very interesting. Alice responded, "Half of mine spilled out when I hit a pothole in front of my house." Omatsu responded, "I drank mine thinking it was soda." Keen responded, "I bumped mine against the door trying to get into the car and it all spilled out." A thread in the Usui Toge message board by Hydra called Chicken Pot reads, "It just wouldn't be Usui Pass without some chicken pot at Yokogawa." GTR responds, "The other day I saw this gorgeous chick in a Sylvia 18 in front of a chicken pot place near the station." Lower Bush responds, "I saw a guy in a dumpy looking S13, not that anybody cares." This is a reference to Iketani and Mako meeting for the first time next to a chicken pot place, which in real life is located in Yokogawa. For some reason, the Sil 80 is translated as Sylvia 80 in this message board post. This should beat with Initial D references in the Tokyo Xtreme Racer series. The Shutoko Battle series has sadly ended, with only a few mobile games being released after Import Tuner Challenge. The developer Genki has moved on to other projects and competitors have taken its market share, although I think most of the viewers can agree that there will never be enough racing games in the world. I hope you liked seeing Initial D being such a big influence and source of ideas for another series. Thanks for watching.